Well, it has been a minute. Just figured I'd come out here on cold, well, not too cold, snow's belting, but kind of cold day. Figured introduce the new car because I haven't made a video in a while. That's about all that's left of the '08 truck. We do have a new truck that is gonna be ready for next season, hopefully. Gotta do some work to it. You'll see some videos later this year on it, and hopefully we can get us a win. But yeah, so with Buford being gone, we needed another Eagle, so we got this one. It's another 85. It's got some goodies. It's got the interior that Dad loves, a nice blue interior. So I was bored and I come out here, redid some of the blue, repainted a lot of stuff, made it all nice. I'm not sure if I have a clip of it, but I might be able to find one of the old panels, but those were all turning brown and faded out, so I redid all that, put everything back, cleaned it all up, got it looking good to have it ready for car show season. It does have a older header panel on it from an earlier year, but we might leave it, we might change it. It's on there, it's not really bothering nobody. It's got just a little baby in there. Nothing special. It's a 383. Gets the job done for now. Just some Vortec heads, small cam, little 650 carb. Gets the job done though, that's for sure. Haven't made a pass in it yet, just a couple burnouts. It's fun. Now, what I like most about this car is it's got a ladder bar rear suspension setup. So normally these cars from the factory are your triangulated 4-link, but now it's just ladder bars. All the 4-link bars are gone. Everything is hooked up and welded in. It's all properly welded into the frame and everything. And when you get into it, it does not do any of the G-body wobbling. The whole front end just comes right up like it needs to, and this car is gonna work. But I figure while we're out here, we might as well try and get us a little cold start. yeah, that's the new car. Square body's finally gone. I say that like I'm happy about it, but I promise I am not. That's actually how we acquired this here unit, is a quick little trade for the square body. But we still do have truck content. Don't mind the flat tire on the front, but this is my 04. 5.3 two-wheel drive. Pretty fun truck. It's stock right now, but I'd definitely like to do some work to it. Play around with the LS's. I got my motor for the Malibu, which is actually the 355 that we had bought. That was the first motor that went back into Buford after the 406 blew up. Found out it's a 358, so it's 40 over. I gotta order a cam, put new bearings in it, gotta have it line bored because the main caps weren't put back on in the right spots. But I'm also putting a different crank in there too, so I just want to make sure everything is as good as possible. I don't want to have to pull this motor back apart after putting it right in there. I got a turbo 350 transmission down here. It has a very low, pretty much stock stall converter sitting down there in it. It's actually the transmission out of this car. When we got it, it didn't have third, so me and a buddy dropped the transmission for my dad, and Dad told me I could have this one in the converter for doing that. So I told him, sweet, I'll go out and do it. So I got a motor and transmission for my car now. We kept the motor and transmission out of the race truck. We got the intake and the gauge cluster sitting back here out of it. Gauge cluster works better than the one in most of the cat eyes that I've owned, surprisingly enough. And then, like I said, I got the number plate off the door. We got the bumpers and stuff. We should have all the recipes to have a pretty good race season with on track. And yeah, we'll just leave it there for legal reasons. But yeah, we got some parts in here that we've been acquiring that are possibly going to be helpful. I'm probably going to use that carb to start out on my motor. It's a 750 vacuum secondary, which should be all I need to run that at first. But I got some other parts in the house. My heads are up there. It's the heads that were on it. There's some Pro Comp heads, some 210s, 64cc combustion chamber. Everything that our AFRs are down there, but the AFRs need a valve or two, and then we want to check spring pressures, and it needs a couple holes tapped. So those are just sitting there. We got our world product heads, and as much as I'd like to use them too, because those flowed well on our 406, those need a couple valves from what happened with the 406. So can't use them. I got a set of big block heads down here because I was going to put a big block in my car. Keeping those around just in case I still might want to do that. Not opposed to putting a big block in the car. Definitely would like to have a big block. But we got some Hoosiers to try out on this car to definitely see if it's going to hook. I have another interior piece over here. When I was in the process of redoing the interior, I noticed that this piece here is broke. And as you see, all these scratches and deteriorating, this is what all the other plastic pieces were doing. So thankfully, the parts car that we used the fender and front clip off of for Buford after it got wrecked had blue interior. So I had a majority of these pieces. I need to get another one of these pieces here, but you know, most G-bodies you see them broken off and stuff, unless you find a nice G-body that was well taken care of, obviously. But you know, it's not bad. The seats aren't ripped, they're still nice and comfortable. Carpet's pretty nice. It's got a nice shifter in it and stuff. You know, it's not a bad car. It's got all the makings of a pretty cool car. It used to be a nitrous car, which is why it's got that over there. Definitely not opposed to putting nitrous back on it. I'd love to do it, but it's what Dad wants to do. This is his car after all. I cleaned up a lot of the wiring and spark plug wires, getting all that routed nice. Just, I like having it clean under the engine bay, or under the hood and the engine bay and stuff for when I'm working on it, doing a simple plug check on a night of racing or whatever. I like it to be easy access, and I like to make sure nothing's gonna get messed up. That way, if I'm not doing it one night and someone else is, there's no guessing games. I have been known to do some stuff where you couldn't figure out what was going on, so I've been trying to get better at that myself. And this car is definitely helping me. It's definitely teaching me a lot for when I get the Malibu done. I'd really like to have the Malibu done this year. Well, done enough to at least drive and go hit a couple hole shots out in the road, allegedly. But, yeah. Not too much going on around here. It's winter time. Some sled action. The old Arctic Cat 440. Been ripping around on that. Get you a beater sled, guys. If you get some snow, get you some beater sleds sitting around. Most fun you're gonna have instead of just sitting around looking at your car in the shop wishing you could go drive it. Got another one that was mine that I traded back to my dad for the Arctic Cat. XLT 600, blew it up, put an XCR motor in it, never finished putting it back together because I ran out of money. Then just lost interest. Might put it back together, might not, who knows. Could just become a part sled. But right now I'd rather be working on this if I'm working on something. So I took the running sled. Well, need a little work, but now running sled. I think that's gonna about do it for this video, guys. Oh, another thing. She is a vinyl top car. She's got a little flaw here and there, but it's not crunchy underneath. It's nice and solid. So this is definitely a great base to work with. We are gonna change the center caps. I don't like that it's got center caps that stick out past the front rim. I do have my wonderful, almost tire shop looking backyard over here. I have some Pro Stars. Here's the fronts. I got rears in there that are wider. They're about smoked off. They just need the tires off the rallies put on them. These could end up back on the car. Or those could end up for sale, and we could go get a different set of wheels. I wouldn't be too opposed to that. Them welds are kind of heavy. But see, we got the slicks mounted up. Well, one slick mounted up. We had to replace one of them, so that's what that one's for. But what's weird is that rim, which is an S10 rim, normally this is open wide enough to fit on a G-body as well because it's a 7.5 rear end. It won't fit on this one. It gets stuck on that centric ring, so maybe the Pro Stars might end up with the set of Hoosiers on them. and those might just be the drag pack and the street pack. We are taking this and the Trans Am to the St. Ignace car show. This one's getting trailered. I'm driving the Trans Am up there. Ain't nothing better than driving a stick shift car all the way up north. That's gonna be a fun trip there on its own. But yeah, so I'm trying to get this thing right. I definitely would like to re-dye this and make that right. Try and re-dye the dash there to where it's not as faded out. We want to get rid of the black at the bottom of it. If it was just all white down there and then chrome again, we think that would look better. As you can see, I've started taking the black off of there because, you know, it's chipping and stuff and it's matte, not really what we want. So I'm getting all the black off, gonna polish all the chrome back out. You know, not all the chrome is done in black, and if we really wanted to put black trim back on this, we still have all of the vinyl top trim back there from Buford that we got when we first bought that car, and it's all vinyl top trim because the car was a vinyl top car, and all of this, and it's all painted black already. We just don't have these pieces here, but we could always order the thin ones that don't use these chrome strips. But again, that's all on Dad, whatever he wants to do. We are looking for a cowl hood though. Said Grand National T-type hood's pretty cool, but we need a cowl hood because if we plan on putting a bigger intake and stuff on it, this just won't clear it. So we do have one of our turbo hoods for sale right now on Marketplace. This one will probably be kept around because it's not a bad hood, and honestly, if we don't have to run a cowl hood, it's got more of a sleeper look. Definitely don't sound like a sleeper and won't sound like a sleeper, but I definitely do like the look of this car. I just want to get chrome buckets put back in it, chrome grille, and get rid of all the black trim and basically make it more ours instead of someone else's. But this video is getting pretty long, so that's gonna do it for this one. Thank y'all for watching, and hope you guys stick around and wait for the better content to come once it gets warmer.